Hello, boys. How's it going?
Oi. Not too bad, mate. You?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. It's been a bit of an eventful week, hasn't it, on a Spurs front?
Oh, mate. Well, I mean, I haven't been listening to TalkSport or anything like that, so I'm a bit in the mist. So, whatever Mason says, he's gospel.
Yeah, a little bit of that. To be honest with you, I've kind of tried to stay out of it today because I personally really dislike the transfer window. I'd much rather go back to the days where you had to look at it on CFAX to see if we've signed anybody.
Explain to me what CFAX was. Fucking hell.
I just, it's one of those things, isn't it? You look at it now. Everyone's an expert. Everyone knows every player in every league around the world. And when that happens, you're kind of stuck with a situation where I'm looking at it and going, well, I don't know who that is. And I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. So
that's the thing, isn't it? Everyone's got an opinion, isn't they? So you just don't know what to believe and what not to believe.
Well, this is it. This is it now. So I guess just to kind of get going, I guess, because there is a fair bit to talk about, different stuff that's happened. But I guess obviously the first thing we ought to talk about is the transfer window is now officially closed. Thank God for that. I'm glad to see the back of it, if I'm being honest. But I guess the interesting thing is we'll go to the resident expert and we'll ask Mason. Right, Mason, what do you make of this? What do you make of this transfer window? Come on, give me some sensible viewpoints on this.
We went in looking for 2 targets. Well, to be fair, in all fairness, we it's always opportunistic with Tottenham, isn't it? In terms of we sign players if there's a good deal or if the new manager typically asks for them and stuff like that. But we went into this window and we needed a centre half and a left winger, and it looks like we got neither. But we have got Simmons and Kudus and Palhinha, which is, to be fair, a very good window. But we went into it just like last season with Ange. We wanted a holding midfielder. He didn't get it, and so on. So on. Every manager we have wants a different type of player. But again, it's fallen short. But then again, I think Simmons could be the left wing signing, but we won't know until he plays. We won't know.
I guess this is the thing, right? Like at the end of last season, or the start of this season, in my mind, I was like, right, okay. So we've bought lots of youngsters. We're kind of future proofing the team and all the rest of it, and we've got some good players in the squad, but we need some ready now players, right? So some of the ready now players, I'm thinking, right, okay, we probably need. This was me before it all kind of kicked off. Felt we needed an improvement at the right wing. I felt like we needed a holding midfielder. I felt that we probably needed cover for Destiny. And then, of course, when Son went, I thought, oh, we need someone at left-sided, right?
Yeah.
So when I look at it from this point of view, right, I wasn't expecting us to go out and do lots of business. I was hoping, but I wasn't expecting based on what's been happening in the past, right? But you kind of look at it and you think, right, okay, so when we signed Kudus, I thought that's a really good bit of business because I really liked him at West Ham. I thought he did really well against us, apart from kind of getting himself sent off. But up for that, I thought he was probably one of their better players. So I was like, well, that's cool. I'll take him. And then we were all calling out for a defensive midfielder, and they went out and bought Palhinha. And at the time when everyone was talking about him, because I don't really know him, I didn't really know him, but I thought, well, okay, if that's a holding midfielder, then that's another position ticked off. Yeah. Then we brought in Kota Takai, who I know absolutely nothing about.
Yeah, no.
And I thought, well, it's another centre back. We've got Vuskovic is to come in as well, and so on. And then, of course, then all this talk about Siemens coming in, Xavi Siemens, after all the debacle with Morgan Gibbs-White and Eze and all the rest of it, I almost felt like we'd kind of fallen upwards. We've got a better deal.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm thinking this is really, really cool. We've done quite well here, to be fair. And then, of course, there was lots of talk about what's his name, Solanke being injured. That's been the latest talk. And so today we've brought in Moani is another one I don't really know an awful lot about. I know the name and all the rest of it, but
his
I'm
whole
not an
career
expert.
so far seems to be built on a miss in the World Cup final, if you remember that. Do you remember the really good save Martinez had in the last minute of the World Cup final?
Yeah.
Mawani took the shot. So
Right.
that's what I don't know. That's where I know him from. Is that he bottled he missed a sitter in a World Cup final. Is where I know him from.
So in my mind, I'm kind of looking. I'm thinking. I'm not sure what Tottenham fans really want, because whilst I can accept that we're probably still short in a lot of places, but we knew we were going to be short in a lot of places. But we've gone out and got probably 4 players that are going to walk. 4 players that are going to walk straight into that starting 11. No.
Yeah, I mean that's what we need, those better players who can walk straight in the 11. But every window it doesn't seem the case. So like me personally, Colin Mawani, I don't think he does walk in the 11 straight away. No, I don't think so. He might. You never know. That's the whole thing with these new signings. They might just show up and prove someone wrong. But I haven't seen enough of Colin Mawani to say he's going to be very good. But what I know of him, I don't think he's any better than what we already have. I just think he's just another option.
So, as I understand it, he's supposed to be able to play across the front 3, right? So potentially he could play on the left-hand side, but then Xavi Simons can play on the left-hand side as well. So that kind of gives you that option there. They can both play centrally, and Mawani can play as an out-and-out striker, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of options around there, we've kind of filled pretty much all the gaps at the front in terms of the players. I mean, equally, when we say that he could come in and be really, really good, they could equally come in and be really, really bad, right? So, I mean, I guess one of the issues I got is when we were getting Tell last January, everyone was moaning, just pay the money, Levy, just get the kid in. He's supposed to be brilliant and blah, 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 and all the rest of it. Just pay the money. And then they were moaning because it was just a loan. Oh, he's going to go to Man United, or they're going to take him back and blah. And now everyone's saying he's shit and we shouldn't have actually made the deal permanent. So,
I mean, that's the thing with Tell. He's a youngster. You got to give him the hope. You know what I mean? A bit of confidence behind him.
He had a good shot Saturday. Shame he missed, but
he did. He did
not
do that,
right?
Yeah, well, that's my point, right? Is that, I mean, I don't know. Like when I look at Tell, I just think to myself, he didn't play hardly any football in Germany. He came to us and he was playing bit parts in a team that was really, really struggling. So have we really seen the best of the player? Can you really say that he is shit? I know loads of people are saying it, but can we really say that? Because he's barely played this season yet. I know it's only sort of 3 games in, but he's yet to really play.
Did you, changing the subject slightly, but if you listen to Sky commentary, mate, fucking Liverpool's won it already. We've only played 3 games. It really pisses me off yesterday. But I think you got to give him time. I think he has a bit of a flair every now and then, like he proved on Saturday. So just give him a bit of time, and I'm sure he'll come through.
The other one, I guess, as well, is that everyone's writing off is Odebear. And he's another one who I'm yet to really see have a proper run in the team. I know he came on when he came back. He scored 2 goals, didn't he, straight away in the first game back last season, and then went on and scored another one after that. But again, he's not really seen a lot of football, to be fair.
No.
So,
but I think again, difference with this team, though. I'm sorry, mate. Difference between this team and the previous team with Ange is that. This Thomas, he's not afraid to make changes. So these players that aren't getting enough minutes will start building their minutes up because he's not afraid of making a substitution. So maybe they might, get more game time and start shining.
I mean, the other thing is we've got all the competitions yet, right, to play. So and that's why
not according to Sky, mate. It's fucking all over. Liverpool's won it already. Oh, fucking.
Well, I mean, that is what that is. I mean, when they've gone out and they've spent the money they've spent, and I haven't been following them, to be fair, what they've been doing, but you can't avoid it, can you? Liverpool bloody news. But they've spent an awful lot of money, haven't they? They spent an awful lot of money and bought a lot of
get
players.
That.
Considering they didn't buy anyone last season and they won the league, right?
Now,
so.
But I get that, though. I get that, but what I don't like is the commentary. The reporters are saying, it's Liverpool. They've won it. They won 3 games. Yeah, that's it. The title's gone. All right, Liverpool's Liverpool. We know they're big, but don't write everyone off just yet, sort of thing. That's another matter, I suppose.
I mean, you have to remember in that situation with Liverpool is that Arsenal have spent big. Didn't they get someone again today as well?
Yeah, Hincapi just got announced. They just bought a centre half.
Yeah, and then you still can't write off City, I don't think, because okay, they've not had a great start to the season, but like you just said, it's only 3 games in, for God's sake.
Oh mate, honestly, I just turned the commentary off in the end, sort of thing. It was just doing my nutting. I can't remember the bloke's name, but he's a twat. It's just useless.
So, Alex, what do you think about this? About the transfer business that we've done? Do you think we've done fairly well, or do you, I guess to a certain extent the Gibbs White and Eze thing kind of puts a damper on it, makes it feel worse, right?
Yeah, I think it's made us look a bit stupid, to be honest with you. He's probably took the shine off of the buys that we have made, sort of thing. The Gibbs White thing and it was just embarrassing, really. It just shows everyone else that all right, we have got the money and we will make some what do you call it? But pay for these players, but we just do it the long way around. Instead of just paying the money up when you know you need someone, we're just tit-arsing about and the deal was gone. So hopefully, if anything, I mean, you shouldn't be saying it really, but I hope they've learnt their lesson. But they should know their lessons already. So I think it's been a bit embarrassing, to be honest with you.
I do think that kind of takes the gloss off of what we've done, because I can't remember a time when we've gone out and bought players at this kind of level for straight off in one window. I know Mason's just said that you don't think Kolo Muani walks into the team straight away, but he's a big name. Fairly big name, right? And he's a sort of player that you think should be able to walk into the team and add something to it, and Siemens and that, even Polina and stuff. They're pretty good buys, I think. It looks like we've strengthened the squad, in my view.
No, I agree with you. We have, but the overall impression is that we don't know what we're doing when it comes to big players. That's what I mean. Yes, we've made buys. We've got these players, and hopefully, they will be put into the team as quick as and make a big difference. But on the front of it, we're just like haven't got a clue. Well, we can't get deals over the line as quick as we should do. So to me, yes, we've made some good buys, but it's also made us look a bit stupid.
Yeah. So do you think? So it's been announced out because there's a few things that have kind of happened this week, right? But do you think this issue with Paratici coming back, is that the end of Johan Langer in terms of doing all the deals and so on? Because it feels like he's the one who's going to take the blame for how badly this has gone, right?
I mean, I've never been a fan of the bloke. I mean, there's a reason why Villa fans were celebrating when he left. So for us to pick him up, because he was here a few years ago, wasn't he? And then obviously went off to Villa. Villa have been doing a lot better in terms of recruitment since he's left, and he come to us. And again, people moaning about Lange, Paratici. Hopefully Paratici comes back and he shows him what for. But just not a fan of the recruitment strategy at all. But then again, I think a lot of they say Paratici's not coming back to October. I think he has been working for a few months now. That's what they're all saying. I think Paul O'Keefe said he's a consultant. Apparently, he's technically a consultant, but returns to official duties in October.
It's tax reasons.
Yeah, well, so that's what they're saying. I think he's been about for a while, and Kudus, Simmons, and Polina, that's got Paratici written all over it. But I don't know about Kolo Muani. Kolo Muani's we've been linked to him since Lange has been here, and that was end of Conte.
Yeah. No, I do think that there's got to be some kind of investigation, if you like, into what's gone on this thing. Because like with the Gibbs White thing, I can kind of almost forgive that one to a certain extent, because they went in, they offered the release clause, they did everything they're supposed to have done, and then some way or another there's something going wrong or whatever, and Marinakis has put a gun to Gibbs White's head and it didn't go through. I mean, if that had gone through, that would have looked an awful lot different. We wouldn't have messed about with the Eze thing. Eze, I kind of go, well, I actually wanted him, but I didn't realise that he was a big Arsenal fan. So
you don't know that. No.
Yeah, so I'm actually all right with him not coming now. I'm actually like,
basically, yeah,
nearly gave the number 7 to a gunner.
Yeah, I'm like, so like the Gibbs White one, I can almost forgive. It does make us look bad. But I just wonder whether, like, the time we spent on it, I wonder what was going on in that time. Was that the case that they really thought it was going to actually get resolved and got stitched up, kind of dilly-dallying? And then
it's embarrassing. So at that level, they should know when they're getting took for a walk round a corner. They should realise at that point it weren't going to happen. So then you just cut it dead. Not leave it hanging. And then we all know where we are, sort of thing.
I just want to know where all this money's going, because we had money put away for Gahey, we had money put away for Savinho, and neither one of them have come up. I mean, I don't personally get it. I mean, the rumour is that Paul O'Keefe is saying is that they reckon Spurs are going to get Savinho in January. I mean, I get it's all rumours, but that's all what the deadline day is anyway. But
that's what I was going to say about that. Like, do you think they're not spending that money basically because they still don't believe the Savinho deal is dead? It's basically a timing thing. That City are just being awkward, and the player doesn't want to push to go. But if he's messed about between now and January, is he going to beat you to a point where he says, look, you've got to let me go? Because if he's not been playing, is he actually going to get game time? That's the issue, isn't it?
That's the whole thing. I think that's probably why he wanted to come to us, because we promised him game time. But at City, you don't get that. At City, you don't get. It's pet roulette, they call it, isn't it? You never know who's going to start for City, because he just picks it out of a hat. You never know.
He kind of has the players come in and then they just sit there and never get used. And it's almost like they're just hoarding players. It's a bit like what Chelsea used to do. And it feels like what they're still doing by the amount of purchases they've kind of done. Just buying players for the sake of buying players and stopping everybody else having them. It's a bit like that. So I kind of just wonder whether there will be an option later on. And that's why they're not splashing the cash that they're supposedly got in their pocket to spend, and maybe that's why this Kolo Muani thing is a loan, because there's no obligation to buy either, is there? Apparently,
yeah, but that's the thing as well with deadline day. It's he said, she said type thing. Just what one person says one thing, another person says another. Fabrizio Romano said that there isn't there is a buy clause, but Paul O'Keefe said there isn't, and so did Ali Gold. So it's quite, deadline day is always a cuff up. We'll find out next week if there's a buy clause. 100%.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out what the answer to that is, because to be honest with you, Romano hasn't covered himself in glory, has he, over this window? There's been a lot of criticism I've seen. I mean, I won't criticise the guy because he knows more about what's going on than I do, for sure. But it feels like he's kind of getting a lot of flack this season for a lot of the stuff that he's called out that hasn't happened and so on. So
yeah, definitely.
Because the Mark Gahey thing didn't go off with Liverpool either, did it? Didn't that collapse today?
Literally had it come up my feed just now. Gahey. So what it is that it's a domino effect, and what happened is that a player from Brighton was going to sign for Palace, but then he done his medical for Palace, but then fucked off to West Ham for game time. But then Palace, that was the Gahey replacement. Right. So Palace was sitting there going, well, we haven't got anyone to replace Gahey, so they pulled him back. And also the rumour is that Glasner said that he's going to walk if they sell Gahey. Yeah. That's also what I've read. Put it in the past hour.
Which kind of, you know, could you imagine if you were Glasgow, you've just won the FA Cup and the Charity Shield.
Mm-hmm.
You're in Europe for the first time in a competition that you pretty much got a chance of winning. I do think the conference is probably a better competition for them. I think they've got a really good chance of winning that, and I'd love to see them do it. And then all of a sudden, every one of your top players is just being ripped away from you. It must be a choker, mustn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll wait and see what's going to happen in January. I mean, I'm just glad the transfer window is over. We know what we've got, you know, and I think, you know, we're writing off players like Odebear and Tell, even Gray. I think, you know, getting written off straight away. And yet, when he's come into the team last season, I always thought he put a decent shift in, but worked really, really well, and showed some really good skills at some points. But if he's not playing regularly and he's only 18 and he's got to learn, well, he must be coming up 19, I guess. But he must be, you know, got time to learn and develop. You know, he's going to get that under Frank. We've already seen with the changes he makes in formation and the use of subs and all the rest of it. He's not afraid to do that, is he? So you know, if you look at the Burnley game where he chucked both Bergvall and Gray in. And we were all like, "Oh, that's a big call." But actually, I don't think they did themselves any harm in that game. I thought they played particularly well. So, you know. So anyway, moving on from transfer stuff, because it's a bit annoying, isn't it? Like it's a bit frustrating. I do think we're in a better place than we've been for a while, and I do think it's good to have that extra bit of depth that we've brought in. The other thing, I guess, is I haven't seen anything about anyone going out. So as far as I can see, Solomon, Gill, Bissouma are all still with us, right?
Solomon and Gill is a weird one because, as I say, deadline day is just all rumours. Apparently, that the paperwork has been went through before 8 o'clock for Solomon to Palace, and Gill has. I think they're going to tear up the contract and then he's going to Girona because Girona don't want to pay anything for him.
Yeah, but didn't they say? I saw something about 10 million quid.
That's the thing. It's all quiet on the Gill front, but Solomon definitely apparently paperwork went in at 8 o'clock. No clue.
I must admit, I've got to be honest with you. There is so much hate for that guy, which I find absolutely bemusing that a player is being abused just because of where they come from and their stance on how they feel about their own country. And I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion about their own country and what's happening in their own country. Whether you agree with it or not is immaterial.
Definitely.
I just don't feel that he's been given any kind of fair shake. And I think the only reason we're trying to offload him is because of that. Because when we signed him for free,
everyone loved it.
Yeah, and he came in and he played okay. He played really well until he injured himself. Then he was out injured, and he just went to Leeds and ripped it up in the Championship.
I remember his first start for us. It was Burnley away, Angie's first season. He got 3 assists in one game.
Yeah,
I remember that game.
Yeah, I just find it bemusing. You know, it's like picking on someone over their politics and their nationality. You know. You couldn't imagine doing that about somebody else, would you? So anyway.
No.
But anyway, moving on from that, because I don't want to get too political about it because it's not really my thing. But the other one that was interesting is the Bissouma thing, because at one time he was going to Galatasaray and that all fell through, and then there was talk about West Ham and that nothing's happened with that either. So it looks like he's still with us, right?
For some reason we cannot get rid of our unwanted players. I'm seeing players from Liverpool who have played a game and they're going for £30 million. Like, is it Morton? Tyler Morton? Some youngster from their academy have just sold for 30 million quid. But we can't get rid of Bissouma, Solomon or Gill. It's always been a problem with us moving players on, and I don't know why.
Maybe they need to do what Palace and that do, not Palace, Forest and that do, and Chelsea, and buy another club in another country that you can sell your players to. So you can sell them to yourself and just get a big profit out of it. So on paper anyway, because that's how it seems to be working at the minute. So listen, a couple of other things I just kind of wanted to touch on. How do you feel about Vuskovic going to Hamburg?
I was disappointed really, because the whole window we wanted a centre half, but we've just had one of the top talents in Europe come back to our club, and we loaned him out, and we still need a centre half. We're a centre half down. We're a centre half worse off than what we were. So all it takes is our yearly injury crisis, and we've got no backups because Takai's out. He's out of an injury. Dragerson, I'm pretty sure, is out for a while. It's going to be a while before. All it takes is just another injury crisis, and we've got no back line again. And we've got Ben Davies and Archie Gray at the back line.
I saw something where he's basically said that he wanted to go on loan. He didn't want to just stay because he said that Van der Ven and Romero are brilliant. And kind of working with them in training shows him how much he's got to learn, and he wanted to go off and really learn before he kind of comes back, because he didn't think he was going to get much game time, and that's the reason why he went. That they actually wanted him to stay.
I genuinely think he would have got game time though. That's my belief. He on his day, and I get it's only a friendly and all that crap, but he's done it in every club he's gone to. Doesn't matter pre-season, doesn't matter the league, doesn't matter what competition. He plays well. And he played, who was it? Was it Reading? Goal and assist on his debut in 10 minutes. Goal and assist.
Yeah.
He's got, not only has he got an eye for goal, he's a cracking centre back, and he's such a young talent. I get development wise, let him go, stuff like that, but purely for the sake of the squad, I think he should have stayed.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's really good. I really liked him. He's massive as well.
Massive,
watch it, see the size of him next to some of the other players. You wouldn't think he was just a kid. Just looking at him, there's just no way. So, yeah, a bit disappointed with that. And as you say, Kota Takai is injured with plantar fasciitis in his foot, and there's been no talk about him since he came, really, because of this injury. So he's a bit of an unknown in the overall scheme of things as well. So we don't know what we're going to get out of that.
No, that's the whole thing. That's why we kind of knew what we were getting with Vuskovic, and that's why he should have stayed. He should have stayed, in my opinion. But it makes it even worse is that we didn't sign a centre half. That's what really annoyed me. Is that we let Vuskovic go because he wanted game time, but then we didn't get a centre back in for game time. That could have been his space, but it's just wound me up.
I guess I'd seen it be reported that Dragusin is back running and stuff, and he should be training with the first team in the next sort of 10 to 14 days.
Okay, fair enough.
Obviously he's been out for a long time, so I don't know what that means in terms of his fitness and ability and all the rest of it. Do you think he'll be better under Frank than he was under Ange?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that about the entire defence though, because we were leaking goals left, right, and centre with Ange, weren't we? So I think when he was at Genoa, like every club in the world were tapping him, even Bayern Munich. Like that's the whole thing, is that he chose us over Bayern Munich. And with Ange, it was very much. I've always called Ange suicide ball. It was very much me or him, but most of the time it was the other team that ended up prevailing. But drag us in a Frank system where it's more defensive and more, tactically tuned in. I think he'll definitely do better, because I think Ange, defensive wise, last year was not. I mean, we can all say it was fucking awful.
Well, we had plenty of practice on Saturday defending because we did nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah, let's talk about Bournemouth. So I didn't go to the game. It was my daughter's birthday, so I didn't get a chance to go to the game. And because it was a 3 p.m. kickoff, I didn't get to see it either. So I've only really seen like highlights and stuff like that, and I've kind of been listening to what other people have said about it. But I take it you guys was at the game. Alex, give me your views on the game there. What was the overall performance like then?
Well, we just defended in 4 minutes 19 seconds. We let that go in. We just didn't start off very good at all. The referee was absolutely, I'm going to swear, fucking shocking. After that, we're trying to pull the shirts off our players' backs. Foul after foul, and was not seen. He was just giving it all the other way. But yeah, we just weren't. We couldn't put anything together. I think we had about 5 attempts on goal. They were all over us.
I mean, what you got to say is that, we should have won, The referee wasn't a massive issue for me.
I
mean, don't get me wrong. He gave a few things away when he shouldn't.
Every time we had an attack, he blew the whistle.
Yeah.
How many times was from Charlison? Either his shirt pulled or brought down.
Oh yeah, that was shocking. That was shocking.
Every time.
But in my honest opinion, you got to give Bournemouth their flowers. They played very
well. Yeah, they did play very well.
Their defense was locked in. Semenyo was dangerous everywhere he went.
Yeah, but he was the one that kept putting down with Charlison. He got away on a yellow card, and then his second yellow that he should have gone off, he didn't. The referee had no bollocks at all about him. But they did play. They did play well. We defended quite well. Vicario is like hit and miss, and sort of thing. He pulled off a couple of good saves. I mean, it was only the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes that we actually changed place and piled it on a bit, as you say. Tell obviously had a go, didn't he? And Sarr had a go. The rest of the time, everyone was just jogging around. And I think on the way home, what we were saying, like what Dean said and Mason was saying, is that every time it's an international break, nobody wants to get injured, so they're not playing hard. As in physically hard.
I just think it's a curse, not really so much that. I think Dean thinks that, but I definitely think it's just a curse. I think, what was it, 2018 was the last time we won before an international break, I read?
I wouldn't know, mate. I wouldn't know.
To be honest, I read somewhere about 2022, I think, or 23. But it has been going on for a while, and I've always been worried about that idea that players don't want to get injured before the international break. But that must work for the other players as well, for the other team, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how many international players there are. Bournemouth. But if you look at us, there are. There's 8% of them, I suppose, are international players. So if you look at it like that. We just didn't want to play. It was like watching Ange football. It was left, right, back, left, right, back. Let's go forward a bit. Let's go back a bit. It was like watching the previous Tottenham. It wasn't the Tottenham that we saw when we was playing Burnley when we won. It wasn't attacking football at all. We looked lost. And I've said it once, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it all the time. When people come and play us, it's their World Cup. Their own little World Cup. And to say you turn Tottenham over at home, they love it, mate. So they come to play. Well, 9 times out of 10, our lot, especially like Saturday, they didn't want to play. So it wasn't a great match to watch up until the last 5 or 10 minutes. But yeah, it was lots of things involved, mate.
So what changed in the last 5 or 10 minutes? What was that? Substitutions?
Tempo, yeah. He made a change in the last 10 minutes, and that's what I'm saying. He does. That was probably the third change that he made, Mason.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, third.
Yeah. So he's not afraid to make a change, which is good, and that's where obviously the players can get their timing. But as soon as they came on, the last 5-10 minutes, the tempo changed, and also we was trying to actually score a bloody goal.
Yeah, we pulled it on Bergvall's shot at the end. I mean, a lot of us thought it went in, but the entire game felt slow. Bournemouth on a counter. I think we were just playing for a counter on a counter attack. Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like we were waiting for Bournemouth to attack, but they were waiting for us to attack. I think. That's what that entire game felt like. And
there was no creativity, was there? No creativity,
and that's
until the last 5-10 minutes.
And that's why Simmons is a big plus for us, because we have no creativity now until Kulusevski or Maddison come back. But that's Simmons. We just have to pray that he doesn't get injured. But he hopefully should fix the whole creativity issue that we've got right now.
Well, that's the question. The question for me is like, when you look at the team, we haven't had that creativity in there, but it's been coming from Kudus, like coming from the right. So how did he play? What was he quieting down, or was he just defending too much or too deep, or?
All the West Ham fans online were saying, "Oh, this is, by the way, Tottenham, this is the Kudus you bought." Kudus didn't have a bad game. No one was brilliant that game. The only people I could say that can keep their heads up, is that Vicario prevented it from being at least 4-0. And I think Spence had a good game, and maybe even Porro. But everyone else didn't do good, but they didn't do bad. They could have done a lot more. 100% they could have done a lot more. But the tempo was shocking. As I say, it felt like a counter-attack was playing the counter-attack. It was waiting. It was like a stalemate. Who's going first? And we had the ball, and we go forward slightly, but Bournemouth wouldn't move. So then we pass it back, and we go forward, but no one would move.
But then I suppose if they've got that goal early, they don't have to, do they? That's the trouble, isn't it?
It was a very flat game, very flat until the last 5 minutes when somehow. Go on.
No. I said, but the ref was shocking.
The ref was shocking, but I still think the biggest thing for their win is that they played very well, but the ref kind of did help a little bit in terms of their counter attacks.
Daily.
So what actually changed that tempo then? Like what did he bring? Was that when he brought Bergvall on, or when he brought Tell on?
Yeah. When the substitutes, we played a much higher line, so we were just pressing them in. We were taking players on the entire game. It was take on your man, pass sideways. No one done. Yeah, obviously Kudus as well. Don't get me wrong, he had a few attempts, and he weren't, as I say, no one was brilliant. He wasn't brilliant, but it very much was position pass back, and it was more possession-based football instead of attacking football, like he said he was going to do.
I suppose if they're sitting in a low block and you can't get round them, you can't really get anywhere. And if the ball's not sticking to you, because I see that after the kind of plaudits that Richarlison's had. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden he's shit again because he hasn't scored a goal.
It's just ridiculous.
I mean, what was he that bad? I mean,
he was fine. It's just no one was bad. No one was bad. No one was special that game. Everyone just played bang average. Bournemouth done very well.
Johnson was nowhere to be seen. Johnson
had a bit of a dodgy game, I'll tell you that. But I don't know. Richarlison didn't have a bad game. He could have done a lot more. Remember the scoreline? What was that?
Oh, what's that?
Was that the dogs?
Yeah, that's my dogs having decided they're going to have a fit.
I mean, the scoreline was only 1-0. Remember that? It was a very, very, very tight game. We just didn't have the edge.
No, we didn't come out. We've got to learn. As soon as that whistle starts the game, we've got to come off the blocks and go for it. Not sit back and wait to warm up. Do you know what I mean? Then Bournemouth just took the ball 4 minutes 19 seconds, mate. That took because I watched the clock, and they was all over us, and we were like, "Oh fuck me, what were we here for again? Oh yeah, let's play a game of football." We were just too slow out the gate.
As I say, no one was bad that game. No, there's not a really solved thing. Say, look, he's the reason we lost. That's the reason why we lost. The game was flat. The game was flat. Yes. Everyone was bang average. They got an early goal and they defended very well.
Yeah. And that's I guess why Simmons is in. He's going to supposedly, hopefully, be the creative spark in the middle, and Kolo Muani maybe he goes on the left. Maybe he plays off the left, or vice versa, and you still stick with Richarlison up top to kind of give us that more bit of a dynamic. If it's not working, it gives you the opportunity to kind of switch them about, because if Moani can play central or across the three, and Simmons can play across the three, it kind of gives you that fluidity, I guess, that they can kind of move. Because I mean, even Kudus can play centrally, can't he?
I mean, that's the thing though as well. Like Brennan Johnson, when you talk about the whole front three. Brennan Johnson is a left winger, and Ange turned him into a right wing player because of his spacing and his backstick bow is what people have been calling. Oh, that's what I call him, backstick bow. But he's always got that position at the back post, and that's exactly what he's so good at on the right wing. So, but with Forest, because when we signed him at first, everyone was going, "Christ, we've got this mental play. He loves shooting from outside the box, taking on his man, and so on." So, but that's always on the left. Ange turned him into a mechanical player on the right. I think give Johnson some time, maybe the left wing might even still be Johnson's, because it was only a few months ago we were saying that Johnson's really good. He's on fire. He doesn't play very great, but he's always on the score sheet. Just we've got to give him time. I think the whole team needs to just gel.
I mean, I do think there is a place in the squad for Johnson. I don't particularly think he's a constant starter or whatever, but I do think because of the goals he scores and because of his idea of getting in, arriving late and putting it in the back of the net and stuff, I don't think you can knock that, especially if you're not having the greatest of games. If he can just pop up and put one in the back of the net, then that's great. I do think there's options for all of these players in a squad that can kind of be utilised, moved around, and interchangeable. I think there is an option there. I don't subscribe to this view from some fans that everyone's shit if they're not on fire every game. These are human beings, at the end of the day, they're people. Yeah. So, they're going to have ups, they're going to have downs. It's not always going to be their best day. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, as well, you got to remember we're 3 games in. What happened? What happened last season? He lost 3 games in last season. Obviously, I'm not going to say we'd go doing the same thing, but game week 3, Liverpool lost 1-0 home to Forest, and they still went on to win the league with their new manager. Just give the team time. I'm not saying we're going to win the league, but I'm just saying that things like that happen. Things like this happen. Liverpool were a better team that game. I remember watching that game down the pub. Liverpool were a better team that game, but Forest defended very well. But they haven't had an upset like that since. They've lost games, but haven't had an upset like that. And it's just another hurdle for a manager to have, just like every manager has. But I saw a lot of overreaction online. A lot.
Yeah.
On the plus side, though, on Sky, there's a nice picture of Ricky when the free kick was taken. It's his birthday. It's his birthday today, isn't it, I think?
Oh,
it is his birthday.
It's Rick's birthday. So happy birthday, Rick.
Ricky.
Big shout out to our good mate Ricky Randall. Happy birthday, Ricky Randall. If you don't know who that is, if you look him up, he's got his own GIF where he's going like this. Everyone knows Ricky Randall from that.
Every transfer day or every time or something, a big win happens, I see Ricky's face on the timeline. Yeah.
He looks like a mong on this one.
He's a famous gift. But big shout out to Ricky Randall. Happy birthday, my brother. I hope you had a really good one. I'm sorry I missed it. I didn't realise. I mean, apart from playing a pretty flat game there, but you had a nice day, Alex, did you?
Yeah, it was all right, mate. It was all right, except for the seaside boys giving it large outside the ground. But yeah, it was all right, mate. It was a good day.
So did you meet up with the South Dorset Spurs boys and did you go into LTs? Was you allowed in LTs this time or not?
Me, I'm always allowed in LTs. What are you talking about?
No, look, when I was in there the other game, you guys disappeared, didn't you? You didn't even stay for 5 minutes.
That's because we did it reverse, and it was hot. Man, it was hot.
We got into LTs, we could not stand there. Well,
no.
It was ridiculous. But we went to the Coach and Horses this time, didn't we?
Yeah, we went to the Coach and Horses. Yeah, that's a strange pub. So
very strange.
Rammed. So we left there, went back to LTs. But yeah,
when I'd left
with Tony and Jace. No, on Saturday.
On Saturday.
Oh, on Saturday.
So it was a good day, mate. It's always good to see that lot, isn't it? So
yeah, of course. Yeah, it's all good stuff. A couple of other you've talking about where we're going this season then, right? So we've had obviously the Carabao Cup draw. Yep. So we've got a nice easy one in there with Doncaster Rovers. Not a potential banana skin at all, is it?
Yeah, they never say easy. I was there for the Morecambe game and I was shitting bricks that game.
Yeah,
he was. I couldn't work out why, but yeah, then we found out why. But yeah,
1-0 down to Morecambe, and Dombele he ruined his legacy. I did not say he had a legacy. He ruined his name at that game.
Yeah, yeah. Getting hauled off and just wandering off like it didn't even matter.
Strolling off the pitch like he wasn't the reason we were losing.
Yeah. He's strolling like he was going up to the counter at McDonald's.
Well, they nearly went under, didn't they? They nearly went under the other week. They got bought out, Morecambe.
Yeah, I saw all that. They were going into liquidation. They weren't going to play anymore, were they? They were going to close them down. So.
Well, that upset the other day, the Sheffield Wednesday win. You know what's going on at Sheffield Wednesday, don't you?
No. What's happening at Sheffield Wednesday?
8 first-team players, and none of them are being paid. And they beat Leeds in the Cup, and I thought that's fucking brilliant. they had 3 substitutes.
Jesus Christ.
They're going into administration at the moment, but it's always sad to see that happen to a big club like that. But it was good the other day to watch that happen.
Yeah, it is. It just shows you how fickle it can all be, and kind of you only have to drop down the league, and that's why this, I guess, and I'm not going to stand up for Daniel Levy, but this is why I guess a lot of owners are kind of trying to be a bit careful about the whole how much they spend, where they spend it, how much money they've got coming in, all the rest of it, because you only need that one bad decision to lead to a kind of drop out of the Premier League, and then you're down tumbling, aren't you?
I genuinely think Chelsea will have a bigger scandal than what City are going through, right, with the whole 115. There is no way Chelsea can make. I think they've got a squad of 52 players, and they have not breached financial fair play. That is not even possible.
No.
No. 250 charges at 10 years' time, I reckon.
You can't even understand where they're getting the kind of financial sort of kind of rules to be able to spend that without it piquing someone's interest. Because where are they getting the income coming in? That's all just being pumped. That money's just being pumped in. The only way they're doing that is by fiddling their
they just sold another
stuff.
Careful what you're saying.
They just sold another one of their players to their own club. They just sold Ben Chilwell to Strasbourg. They own both clubs. I don't know how this is allowed, but Palace will get kicked out of the Europa League.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying about this. The idea of multi-ownership, because that's a way of getting around it, isn't it? It's like where City are selling players to Saudi Arabia and stuff like that because they're able to earn so much money. And I think Chelsea are doing something similar, aren't they? Or have done something similar, where they're kind of inflating prices that go into other clubs and stuff. And I think the other thing is like the long-term contracts. I think spreading the money over a certain period kind of helps with all of that as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of pans out in time. But it's just crazy. It just feels like, going back to the transfer thing, the amount of money that's being spent by some of these clubs is making what we're doing look ridiculously poor, when in actual fact we've probably done a lot of very good business, the sort of business we've not done for a long time, so it's just
definitely.
It's just one of those things. So you're not, so Alex, you're not worried, you're not excited about the idea of playing Doncaster Rovers then in the Carabao Cup? You don't think that's an easy one for us?
I think well, like Mason said, you never know, do you? But I think it'll be a good day out for them, and it'll be a good day out for those that go, sort of thing, on our side. But I'm not particularly worried about them. I think we should give them a bit of a lesson. But again, you just don't know, do you? You don't know. And
well,
that is the fun of it all, isn't it? Really. So,
yeah. And that's football. And that's football. Any team can beat any team. I think that's the interesting thing about it. And I think that's the thing that we all tend to forget, right? That any team can beat any team in the Premier League. They're in the Premier League because they deserve to be there, and they can do what they like. And someone's going to beat someone. Someone will beat Liverpool this season that no one expected them to. Someone will beat Arsenal. Someone will beat Chelsea. It will happen. Someone's going to beat them that you wouldn't expect to beat them.
No. But again,
it will happen.
Hopefully, it won't be us, Lee. Hopefully, it won't be us. I mean, hopefully, like I say, with the different style of football that we are playing, it will be beneficial to us. So, I'm not too worried about Doncaster, but you just don't know, do you?
I just want to see some of the youngsters play. Like, I get it. I mean, one of our own's at Doncaster now. I don't know what the rules are about if they can play or not. But he's the one that scored in the Europa League against, what's their name? Christ, we played them at home. Was it 3-0? Mikey Moore's first goal of that game. What team was that? That wasn't Bodo, was it?
No, it was. What's the other one? Was it Karabag? Not Karabag.
No. That was first game. I'm gonna have a look. Oh, Elfsborg. Demola Ajay scored. He scored the first goal. He plays for Doncaster Rovers now on loan. So I don't know what the rules are. If he can play against us or not, I don't think he can. But he's out on loan there now, which would be good to see him play. But you never know.
I think a lot of that, in terms of whether they can or can't play, is dependent on the deal the clubs do, isn't it? As to whether the clubs say, put it in there that he can't play against his parent club or whatever. I don't think it's a.
I thought it was a UEFA rule because you can.
Oh, is it?
I thought it was because you can link it to match fixing, because obviously they want to, he's one of your players are going to do this sabotage type thing.
All right.
And so that's how I thought about it, but
You might be right then. You might be right. I didn't think of it in that perspective.
You never know.
So moving on. The other thing moving on is Champions League draw this week. We've had that as well. What are you thinking about the Champions League draw?
I thought we got quite lucky, but then again, two of the teams we have got are probably one of the hardest options. PSG, I mean, they won the thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be a hard game. Dortmund, that's going to be a hard game, but nevertheless, we'll play our best. Villarreal, I don't know. I don't watch them play. I don't know I know they were Conference League last year, but then we got Frankfurt and Bodo as well, who I was told aren't Champions League teams, and we're not allowed to celebrate winning against them in the Europa League. But they're now a Champions League team, so.
Yeah, and didn't you just say Villarreal were in the conference?
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. I to be honest with you, I'm quite excited about it. I think that's a group that we could get out of. So I don't necessarily think we're going to be whipping boys of the Champions League, as a lot of people thought we might be. I think the hardest game in there is obviously PSG. But if you consider how much of a game we gave them in the Super Cup, I know it was their first game back and all that sort of stuff. But we didn't have all our new signings by then. We hadn't built up any confidence. It was Frank's only just really come in. So I'm quite excited about that. It's a bit disappointed that Bodo is so close, because that would have been a really good one to go to, wouldn't it? But 30th of September, I'm going to be away anyway. But
I'm away for the first game at home. And when we got Dortmund, I had a stupid mate who I was talking to at the time, and he went to me, no, it's in order. So everyone plays pot one first, and so on. And I believed it, and I was like, there's no way I'm missing Dortmund. And I was sad about it for a good 4 days. And then I looked at the fixtures come out, yesterday or Saturday, and I was like, oh, great. No, I'm only missing Villarreal. Obviously a big game, but I was gutted that I thought I was missing Dortmund.
Yeah, looking at those in terms of away games, are you looking to travel any of these games?
Frankfurt, I think we've sorted. Frankfurt.
So Frankfurt's your one, is it? That's the one you're planning on, is it?
Mate, we'll play it by ear, but I think so.
Well, he's got a WhatsApp group going, mate. So, him and Ricky were chatting away Saturday. I don't know if Mason can remember that. But try and go to Frankfurt if we can.
Yeah, Frankfurt. Okay.
You gonna come along?
I do want to go to a Champions League away game. I've got to be honest. Do you
want me to chat to the missus for you, or do you can smooth it over?
No, I'd have to get a pass, wouldn't I? But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. The one I really would have liked to have gone to would have been PSG.
Oh no, I couldn't think of anything worse. That PSG and any Italian team, you never want to go away. Christ.
No, it'd have been all right. I quite like the idea of that, but the only trouble is it's in my busy period in November, so I don't know if I'll be able to get the time off of work anyway. So kind of looking at them, and I think Monaco, I ain't going to want to go to Monaco. That's going to be expensive, isn't it? Trying to go there, to find somewhere to stay and all that sort of stuff. That's going to be a bit of a mission. Bodo, you can't go to because there's only about 20 people allowed as away ticket for that one, so that's not going to happen. You just got to hope if we get through this group, that there is an opportunity to get a game in at some point, because I do love to go. I do love going to the old European away games. They are good fun.
Definitely. I mean, I've got a ticket for Leeds away. I need another one, but we've got a few friends who live in Leeds, and it's very much a perfect weekend, because he said, come up and visit us October 4th. And I went, okay, yeah, no worries. And October 4th is when we play Leeds. So there's 2 reasons to go up there. So
Nice. So, Alex, are you happy with that draw on the Champions League? Are you confident that we could get out of that?
I just want to see us play more football, mate. Attacking football. I reckon we'll be all right. To be honest with you, I think the tide is changing, and I think the style of football that we're going to play, we're going to be all right. I reckon. So I'm happy with it. I just want to see more. Just want to see more. That's all, you know.
Yeah, I hate the international break. If I'm being honest, that really gets on my wick. I'm not a fan of international football, to be honest with you. I don't tend to watch it unless it's an actual competition.
There you go. Bit of news. Solomon to Palace is off. A move to Porto is a possibility, while staying at Spurs is not ruled out, Sky Sports says.
And that's
I've just got confirmation of my ticket for Villarreal.
Yeah, so do I.
You got yours. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to. I've got to send it to Ryan, I think. But
is he going?
Well, probably. I mean, I'm in Malta.
See, I don't know where he gets his money from, though.
Yeah,
you know what I
mean? You'd be able to go and see Malta Spurs in Valletta.
Yeah, could do.
I would.
You should do.
You should go and watch it. They're Spurs mad in Malta.
Are they?
Yeah. It's a massive there. Melvin, who goes on Chris Callinger, he's Malta. He comes over. He lives on Gozo.
What's it called?
It's Malta Spurs. It's in Valletta, their capital. They got a massive. They got a real big supporters. Not big supporters club,
they do, don't they?
They're mad Tottenham fans over there, they like visitors.
Amy will let you go. You take Amy, she'll get in it and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, she'll love it.
Yeah, she'll love it. Bless her. That's all he's going to be thinking about now.
Yeah, too fucking right.
Amy, Tuesday night. This is what we're doing, right?
Well, Malta's such a small island that you can get around it in no time, and
he's jumping a cab, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I'm trying to look it up now. I didn't know that was the thing.
Yeah, they've got their own supporters club. They've got their own supporters club there in Valletta, and they like having international fans go to them. They look after people there. I know a few people that have been, and they talk really highly of it. So well worth a visit.
I'm on the other side of the island. That's the only thing.
It ain't that big.
It's not that
big.
45 minutes away from the hotel. That's a drive.
Oh, wow. 45 minutes. Jesus.
It's a sports bar 2 minutes down the road from my hotel. So,
but you want to make the effort. What's the matter with you?
I could make the effort.
You've got to go to Malta Spurs, mate. If you don't go to Malta Spurs, then that's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, frowned upon, Lee, isn't it? Not making the effort. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'll tell Melvin that you're over and you're not going there. He'll be really disappointed in you.
Because it's half hour in a taxi.
Yeah. 45 minutes.
Kids today. If it's not on the doorstep, they don't want it.
No.
Well, see, we're a 5-minute walk to the sports bar.
Yeah, but you're being sociable, Mason. I know,
You'll be able to watch it with all the fellow Spurs fans. Yeah. They've got scarves up, they've all tellies up and that. It'll be a great atmosphere.
Yeah, it's true, but it's also that my hotel has its own sports bar built in.
See, you just can't. You can lead a horse to water.
Honestly, you need to expand your horizons, Mason. Honestly, these kids, they got no idea.
No idea. I don't know how I brought him up like that.
Yeah. It's all about connections, mate. It's all about connections. You should make connections with all the Maltese Spurs fans.
It's not what you know; it's who you know.
Yeah, well, it's not down to me. It's down to the big boss at the end of the day of what we're doing on the day of holiday.
The big boss. I don't think she likes to be called the big boss.
The female.
The female. So my earpod dropped out my head. But yeah, no. You going to that one, Lee? No? It's a Tuesday night, isn't it? So probably not, isn't it?
No, I can't. What date is it on?
16th of September. So that's only a couple of weeks.
No, I've got so much on for work as well. It's just a nightmare. So I doubt if I can. I will try and make a couple of them though in the midweek games this season. I'm going to try a bit harder to do that because to say I miss out on so many of them, but it's just fitting them in amongst the other home games and life and stuff.
No, I know, mate. I know.
Well, listen, we're almost at an hour, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just wanted to finish off by raising the issue of Spence being called up to England.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yes,
what did you think about that? Well deserved?
Well deserved.
Yeah, good luck to him, mate. Good luck to him.
Better than Lewis Smelly, I'll tell you that.
Again, giving the youngsters a chance is good, I think. Because, It's a good experience for him.
I think it's a real success story for Spence. You know, considering he was almost out the door for a cheap fee to Girona and Genoa, whatever it was, and he's really shown since he came in. He's really knuckled down and really shown what he's about, and really deserves a lot of credit. He's got a great attitude. I think he's so funny. Some of the stuff he puts out as well about. Did you see the Instagram post he put out the other day about being show me your best wingers, and he's kind of he's showing how he's kind of taking them on and not giving them anything. Probably can't do that. Probably can't do that against Bournemouth, but he's been able to do it against some of the others. So it'd be good to see him in an England shirt, a full debut as well. Hopefully he'll get some decent minutes and really show what he's got. I think he really deserves it. So
yeah, good luck to him, mate. And as long as he brings his experience back to the club, it's happy days, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's gonna make him better, and he signed a new contract as well. Him and Romero both signed new contracts, which again is something else that kind of gets overlooked because there was all that talk about him moving on, and now he's not moving on. He's staying with us. Romero, this is, and club captain and all the rest of it. That's another a good bit of business from the club, I think.
You think? Lee, sorry.
Yeah, good bit of business. I think to keep him, because I say there was a lot of interest from Spain and all the rest of it, and it's good for him to show a level of commitment to the club that he's going to stay and try to build on it. And I think he's an important player for us. So
we should have celebrated that like it was a new signing, in all fairness, because it's just. Without Romero, the team is completely like we can keep Van der Ven in the squad and we'll still play the high line, but you take away Romero and the back line just isn't as dominant. When you got players like McAllister who plays with Van Dijk every week, saying that the best centre back in the world is Cutie Romero, it's a no brainer. But when he signed a new contract, I was so happy. Not only is he not obviously captain, but fully deserved, but the quality he has is insane. You can't get a replacement. I don't think there is players like that out there right now with the same caliber as Romero, in my personal opinion.
Well, on a good day, you think, or because like again Saturday,
he had a good game Saturday, but I don't know. If Romero was to leave, we couldn't really get anyone in this market right now to step up to the plate. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think if he went, you'd never be able to replace him. He's like Kane. When Kane went, a different sort of thing, right? But when Kane's gone, people talk about trying to replace him. You'll never replace him with what he brought to Spurs, no. And you can see that in what he's doing in the Bundesliga. So there's no way you can replace him. And I think someone like Romero, it would cost you an absolute fortune to try to replace him.
Yeah, it would, 100%. As I say, I don't think there is a player out there right now who you could get. If Romero was to leave, to fill the void. But then again, you can say that of anyone. It's like, if you have a world-class player, you probably aren't going to replace them. You're probably just going to get a world-class player in a different position. I've got loads of Liverpool mates, even though they live closer to Ajax than Liverpool. And they all say about Salah, saying, oh, well, who's going to be the Salah replacement? And you go, well, you're not going to get a Salah replacement. You're just going to get another player who might be world-class in a better position. No one's going to replace Salah. No, you can't. And it's the same thing like with Russ Kane. You can't replace Kane, but you'll get a good striker in. But now I think Romero's a world-class player. So now we have a world-class centre-back that no one was calling him when Kane was here.
Yeah, I still think, if we can keep him and Van der Ven fit, I think we're in so much stronger position.
Oh, yeah.
And I do think, like we talked about him earlier, Dragushin, I'm yet to see him really play in a position that suits him, and I think under Frank he might get that, and I think he might surprise a few people. I think he could be a good player for us.
And it's the back three, isn't it?
But I like Danso as well. I've got a lot of time for him. I think he's decent. So once Dragushin's back, you've got four centre backs there that are decent in my view. And then of course, you've still got the opportunities with, Archie Gray or Kota Takai or whatever as kind of backups to the backups, I guess. So I still think there's depth in there. The one that bothers me really is more left, destiny, because I just don't think that Spence can cover the left back and the right back and be the main man for it as well. I can't see him doing all that, and I can't see Porro having another season without an injury. I mean, he did brilliantly last season. I can't see that carrying on. So it's one of them. I still think there's a bit of a gap there, but the window's closed. We've got to wait till January now and see how this kind of squad fares over the next few months.
We'll be having the same conversation about how we need a centre back and need a left wing by the time it comes to the summer window. I think. I don't know, but
can I just add something to tonight though? I've actually got 208 points. Happy days! I broke the 200 barrier.
Well done, well done. That's mad, isn't it? I think I lost a load of points. I don't know how it works, but it looks to me like
it's after 5 years they take points away, which is wrong. I don't think they should be doing that.
I've lost a lot. I feel like I got a lot less points this season than I had last season. So I might be wrong. But I don't normally track it anyway.
Then I just logged in and thought 208 points. Happy days.
It's the away games, isn't it? If you can get away games, that makes such a difference. You get more, get the points, but it's just getting a ticket in your own name, isn't it? That's the difficult bit. So
that's the difficult bit. Still, not to worry. But yeah, that's good. Bit of good news. Bit of good news.
Bit of good news
for me, anyway.
Yeah, for you. Just to finish off, because we're now gone right over, so I'm going to let you guys go. But I did want to finish by just wishing once again Ange Postecoglou a happy 60th birthday. For all his faults, for all the issues we had with him, I think the guy brought us a European trophy, which I'll be forever grateful for. Got that monkey off our back, and hopefully has inspired the owners to start building on this squad. So I'm sure counting the amount of millions he's got in the bank has probably helped him. But turning 60 is a big deal. I know because I've got it on the horizon very soon. So big happy birthday to Ange Postecoglou as we end the stream. Guys, I'll just leave you there. I wanted to say thanks for coming on. I know we was a little bit late starting, and I know we've kind of rambled on a little bit, but it's always great to have a chat with you boys. We won't be doing one next week because it's international football, and I don't want to talk about international football.
Yeah, boring.
So we won't do it. We won't do a stream next week. So I'll give it a week off for next week. But we'll keep in touch over the next few days. Yeah.
Yeah. No problem, mate. No problem at all.
All right, boys. I'll leave it there. I'll just leave to say up the Spurs, and we'll see you on the next one. We just have to wait for the stream to end.